Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into what might just be the single most powerful business tool you're not using yet, and that is a podcast. Let's get into it. So you might be thinking, podcasts? Aren't those just for hobbies or, content creators in their basements? Well, for a while, maybe that was true. But let's just go ahead and challenge that assumption, because in today's business world, the game has totally changed. Take a look at this number, 97%. What's that? Well, that's the percentage of top-tier business podcasts that now have their own dedicated YouTube channels. This isn't just some small trend, folks. This is a massive, fundamental shift toward a professional, video-first strategy. We have absolutely hit a new reality. Podcasting has officially grown up. It's moved way beyond a simple audio trend and has become a core, measurable business strategy that the smartest brands out there are using to drive some serious growth. And what's really interesting here is just how relentless the top performers are. You see that 43% publish every single week. But get this, another 41% publish daily or even twice a week. This isn't happening by accident. It's a very deliberate plan to build an audience and stay top of mind. And this really says it all, doesn't it? The days of just grabbing a mic and hitting record are over. We've moved from a hobbyist's game to a professional's arena. Success now demands high production quality and, even more importantly, a crystal clear purpose. You have to know why you're doing it. So how are the big players actually using this? Let's look at a few really powerful case studies of podcasts solving some major business challenges. Okay, first up, the British Columbia Institute of Technology. They were facing this huge challenge, right? How do you stay relevant and inspire people in a world that just got turned upside down? Their answer was a podcast focused on powerful human stories. And the result? A mind-blowing 98% listen-through rate. Just stop and think about that. What other marketing tool holds nearly your entire audience's undivided attention for 30-40 minutes at a time? Almost nothing. Now, let's switch gears and see how this works in a totally different space, internal communications. Lululemon has this massive global team, and they needed a way to make everyone feel connected to the company culture. So they launched an internal show, and it was a huge hit. 3/4 of their entire global staff listened, with, again, an incredible 95% listen-through rate. It became this vital tool for reinforcing their culture. Proven podcasts can be just as powerful for your own team as they are for your customers. But what if you've already got a podcast and it's, well, just not working? That's the exact spot the Royal Bank of Canada found themselves in. Their show had really inconsistent quality, and it just wasn't finding an audience. But they didn't scrap it. No, they invested. They brought in professionals for a complete strategic overhaul, better quality, better content, smarter marketing. The result? A staggering 500% jump in listenership that shot them right to the top of the business charts. Now, these big brand stories are awesome, but let's be real. For most of us, the true magic of a podcast isn't about chasing millions of downloads. It's about building high-value relationships, one amazing conversation at a time. This right here, this is the key. You have to reframe what a podcast is. Stop thinking of it as just a microphone to broadcast from, and start seeing it as a networking superpower. Instead of a cold call asking for a meeting, you're extending a warm invitation to your ideal client to be a featured expert on your platform. See how that flips the entire script? And having a professional process makes all the difference. When you have a structured journey like this for every guest, each and every interaction, from that first email to the follow-up, becomes a high-value touchpoint. It builds incredible goodwill and naturally opens the door for business. Okay, this all sounds fantastic. I know, but it leads us to the big, looming question that every business owner has. How in the world do I actually get all this done without it completely taking over my life? When it comes down to it, you really have two choices. You can try to do it all yourself, or you can partner with the pros. And you have to understand the real trade-offs here, because it's about so much more than just the cost. Let's just be honest about the DIY route. Once you add everything up, the planning, the recording, the video and audio editing, the show notes, the social media clips, the promotion, you are easily looking at 10 to 15 hours of work for a single high-quality episode. And that massive time commitment, that's exactly why we see this happen. An incredible 94% of podcasts just fade away before they ever hit 100 episodes. And that's usually the magic number where you start to see the huge results. The sheer complexity of DIY leads straight to burnout. But what if there was another way? What if you could get all the brand building, relationship generating benefits of a truly world class podcast, but only have to commit 1 or 2 hours of your own time for each episode? Well, the solution is a full service, done for you agency. A true partner manages the entire ecosystem for you, everything from the high level strategy and guest outreach, all the way down to the nitty gritty editing and measuring your return on investment. It frees you up to do the one thing only you can do: have great conversations. And this is the real game changer. For the longest time, this kind of white glove service was something only huge corporations could afford. But that's just not the case anymore. Professional, full-service production is now completely accessible for any business that's serious about growth. By partnering with an expert team like the folks over at Impact Podcast Lab, you get a proven, turnkey system that turns your vision into a powerful business asset. They handle all the headaches and complexity, so your podcast becomes a simple, predictable engine for generating high-value relationships and ultimately revenue. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. At the end of the day, business is all about relationships. So what if your next big client or your most important strategic partner is out there right now, just one great conversation away? A professional podcast doesn't just give you the perfect reason to start that conversation. It makes you the one they can't wait to talk to.